Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Mustard Seed. I'm Andrew.
I'm Ryan.
I'm Josh.
Join us on our journey.
It's Wednesday morning. You know what that means?
You hit the thing on your own.
I hit my own thing.
Nice. I like how it's quiet on our end now.
Yeah.
So I don't even know.
Too lazy to get the headphones set up.
I brought Eli for his 9-month checkup, and the doctor's like, "Get that boy out of that baby car seat." That is a man. Like, he is big.
You sent a picture of him today, and he was just sitting in the car. In the
Yeah,
front
we were
seat.
waiting to go to the doctor.
He is so big. He is just such a
He was 26 pounds, 30 inches.
wow.
He's 26
Yeah,
pounds.
26 pounds, 9
At
months.
9 months old.
And so, like, the baby car seat is like,
2-year-olds aren't even that big yet.
He's a bowling ball.
The baby car seat is, he's like, we can tell, like, he's too big for it. His feet are like way over it. It's like,
Well, he's on the steroid milk, right?
Yeah.
yeah, that's the thing. He's getting big from that. They said today, like, we asked for, like, can we give him food? So he's gonna get even bigger.
Gonna start eating burgers.
He had we gave him chicken today and some noodles, and for the first time, and he was like making the weirdest
face.
faces. I gave him I made a sweet potato and I gave him some of that, and he eats the regular baby one, so I gave him some of the sweet potato, and his face, like, he turned his head, and then I guess when it hit his taste buds, he turned back
Like he loved it. It's like, wow.
more of that.
Opening them up to new worlds.
Yeah.
That's always funny. I get some of those memories on my phone now of like when we were giving Elliot like sweet potatoes and all the foods for the first time. Guacamole,
Guac.
avocado all over his head. Yeah, he's a big boy. Wow. It's got to be bigger than Hannah, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think she's 18 pounds. So,
Yeah. That's great. Making some big babies.
yeah, she's like, you got a wide receiver? That's Logan. She called Eli a linebacker. It's funny. My doctor, she's a Michigan fan. So, and every time she sees me, she goes, "Oh, how are your little Buckeyes?" I was like, I don't know how they're going to do this year. It's going to be pretty rough schedule. They got a rough schedule, the Ohio State.
I haven't even looked ahead yet. I saw a picture of college football the other day, and it got me excited.
Yeah,
but
me too.
I don't want to get ahead. We got a summertime still to enjoy.
I don't know. I've been looking forward to it lately.
College football is the best. I do enjoy those. The fall season in the air, some football on the
Well,
telly.
this leads us into our top 5. It's the top 5 biggest colleges.
Oh,
Like,
biggest
with the
colleges.
most, I guess,
Students, right?
Yes.
I'm just going to say Arizona University. Is that on the list?
No, Arizona is not on here.
Oh. Well, they're like the number one party school, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Arizona.
That's Gronk.
Arizona
Remember?
State.
Gronk had to wind up buying his house.
Really?
Yeah.
Because everyone wanted to stay in it.
No, he like destroyed.
Oh, he destroyed it. That makes sense. We got a lot of colleges to choose from here. I don't know why, but UCLA popped in my head.
No.
USC.
Yes, number 2.
Okay. I'm thinking like big states, California.
Louisiana State University.
No.
I guess Louisiana's not that big.
Texas.
Texas A&M.
Texas A&M.
Yeah, they're number 1.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow,
I was a little shocked too.
I did not know that. Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Okay. Texas A&M. Give us some states. Or do you not know?
Can't really say the
Let's
states.
just
Oh,
Give it
because that's
It'll give
I
it
get
away.
fair,
I'll say the
fair enough. All right. wait,
Ohio State.
yes. They're number 3.
oh, okay. Ohio
So you got
State.
Texas A&M
Yep.
number 1, UCF. Oh, fireworks.
UCS, USC.
US. Yeah, I can't say. Why am I
Okay.
having such a hard time? They're number 2, Ohio State 3. So you need 4 and 5.
4 and 5.
Same state. I'll give you that.
As Ohio.
No. Like they're both in the same state.
Okay, they're both in the same state. I'm gonna think something Florida.
Okay, Florida's number 4.
Florida. Okay.
So
Miami.
yep, Miami's number 5. So interesting.
That is interesting.
Wow, I wouldn't think that for any of those. Well, California, I would think.
Miami definitely, but the Texas one was like a little more of a shock. I feel like
I think Texas is a big state.
LSU would have been big. You're right.
Louisiana. I mean, everything's bigger in Texas. I was just in Texas.
Yeah. Actually, you know what's funny? I went to check where Jess was, and I saw you were in North Carolina. And I was gonna text you and be like, "Oh, did you go to that bar, that famous Michael Jordan bar? Like, he's not here. They named it because when he went to that,
I've been there.
yeah,
Yeah, I've been there. I went there for Bob's wedding.
is it cool?
Yeah, it was a really neat little spot. North Carolina. I love North Carolina, man. I was driving around North Carolina again. I was in Charlotte.
Oh, did you get to see Bob?
No, he's in Raleigh.
Oh.
So I was in Charlotte, but it's just a beautiful state. It's
Yeah.
green. I love what's the word? It's just like brick, and the houses are just so nice.
Rustic.
Everything's
Is that the one?
clean. Yeah, I'm a big fan of North Carolina, I will say.
I think everyone's kind of moving there. I feel like everyone is heading to North
Trendy.
Carolina.
Yeah, I did, because I was in and out of, Harris Teeters all day, but I met a lot of grocery managers, and there was a lot of them from the Northeast. Like a handful of them were like, "Oh, yeah, I'm from Pennsylvania. I'm from Massachusetts," and they all came down. So
Yep.
it's the trends. But yeah, I had quite the week. I was in Dallas, and then I flew to Tulsa, and then I flew to Charlotte, and then I drove to Greensboro, and then I flew home.
Wow.
So over the 4 days, I was in 4 different states,
That's crazy.
sort of.
You must be exhausted.
Yeah, full
That's
week.
fun.
But I got to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and they had just had a crazy storm rip through Tulsa. I had no idea.
Like a
I landed.
tornado.
No, not a tornado, but 100-mile-per-hour winds. Wiped out like the whole city, and different pockets still didn't have power. So I'm going around visiting all the stores because I flew in that morning, and they're all like, "Yeah, like we still don't have power. We still don't have power." I was like, "Oh no! Like, what are the chances that my hotel doesn't have power?" I got to my hotel at 6:30, and it was empty. And I got to the front desk, like, "Yeah, we don't have power. Like, you can't stay here." And I looked, because obviously there were so many pockets that didn't have power, so not every hotel was open. And the hotels that were open were all sold out because people who were at home and they didn't have their power, they went to hotels.
Oh.
I found a hotel in Oklahoma City, so I drove an hour and a half to Oklahoma City so I could stay in a room where I could shower. And then I had to wake up the next morning at 3 a.m. to turn around and catch a 6:30 flight to get to Charlotte. So that was quite the adventure. Yeah.
Yikes. That's like my nightmare. I hate that stuff.
Crazy.
Traveling, yeah, there's so many variables when it comes to traveling. You kind of just...
When things go bad and like you have to like change everything, and that's tough.
It's tough. It wasn't as bad as my coworker who was flying. He had stayed in Dallas because we both went into Dallas and we went our separate ways. He was supposed to fly to Raleigh. His flight was at 7 p.m., right, on Wednesday night. They kept delaying it. Got delayed to 9:30, then got delayed to midnight. They were about to board the plane, and then they started boarding all the groups. Halfway through, they're like, "Nope, we're going to delay this till 9:30 a.m. the next morning."
Oh my gosh.
Oh wow.
So, and then on his flight home, ready? On his flight home, they delayed it an hour and a half. He landed in Newark, New Jersey, and then they had to sit on the runway for an hour and a half because there were no open gates. So he
is
spent
the
3
worst.
hours just sitting on the plane waiting to get to the gate. Like, traveling is just,
And you
I feel
can't
like it's
even-
gotten worse.
You
with
can't even
COVID.
get up, so you're like, you got that bad butt sweat.
Oh, it's the worst. Like, you're just a little claustrophobic.
Yeah.
Everyone's sitting there. Oh, yeah. Travel. Yeah, planes can be very, and I feel like there are less flights now post COVID. So when something goes wrong, I feel like you have less options. Yeah, it's always fun.
What was it, 2 years ago or a year ago? Yeah, 2 years ago, we went to Disney and our flight was delayed from like coming home for like 8 hours. It was ridiculous.
And they're like, sometimes I don't know how it works on the other end, but I feel like they never really give you information.
No.
They're just like, oh, we're delaying, and then they'll delay you again.
And they're the
delay you
worst too,
again.
because then they like, I know it's not like the gate people's fault, but they're so like sassy that it's just like you want to reach over and like smack them.
Yeah, it's a true test of
Yeah.
patience. That's for sure.
It's like, geez, I get you're getting yet. Like, I hate when the people just scream at them. It's like, okay, it's not their fault. But then we had like the pilot who came in, and he's like, because our pilot apparently called out when this happened, when we were waiting, and he comes in, he's like, I'm working overtime. I came in on my day off just to take you guys. It's like, okay, you're gonna make a butt ton of money, man. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna cry for you over here.
Yeah, traveling can be tough, but we're home. We made it, so can't complain. Yeah, another week.
I saw this video, speaking of Texas, where a tornado was coming, and then they're all at the bar, and they're recording it, and the people are trying to get all the drunk people. Guys, a tornado's coming, and no one's listening.
Oh my gosh! I mean, what would you do if someone's telling you a tornado's coming? It's like, well, I guess when you live over there, though, you should be a little bit more expecting that.
They're all just keep drinking. They're like,
Well, imagine that. Like, tornadoes are crazy. I'm glad we don't have to deal with that on Long Island. But I mean, everything that they were describing, like in the Tulsa area, was very similar to what was it, Sandy? Is that what we had? Hurricane Sandy
Hurricane
wipe through here on Long Island. That was a crazy, because we had no power for a while. Right? I think we were out for 3 days.
my parents were lucky because their wires are underground.
Oh wow!
So
Oh,
yeah, I know like the Ronkonkoma area was out for a while.
So many. I was working on the golf course at the time, and I remember all the cleanup we had to do because of all the trees that went down, and it was just chaos.
Oh, you want to speak on golf a little bit? How crazy like that merger is?
That is nuts.
Like, oy.
That is nuts. So, you familiar with that at all, Josh? So basically, there's the PGA Tour, right? It's been the golf league for a long time.
Forever, yeah.
Just recently,
There's Saudi Arabia.
yeah, a new tour emerged, and it's backed by people from Saudi Arabia.
okay.
So the big thing is it's dirty money, right? It's Saudi Arabian money, right? So there became kind of like a line in the sand that was like, are you going to go take the money, or are you going to stay true to kind of the values and the integrity of the PGA Tour? And the Saudi Arabian Tour, called Live Golf, LIV, was throwing crazy amounts of money at these players to get them to come over to the tour. And it caused a real like rivalry.
And they took a bunch of people, and then the part that's bad, that I have no respect for, that whatever his name is, the PGA Tour guy.
Okay, Monahan maybe, I
Yeah.
think it is. I forget his full name. I don't know.
He had people loyal who stayed, who could have took so much money.
Well, that's what. So now,
And it's like, are they going to get money now, or like what? Are they screwed to their regular contract?
so what had happened just recently, because basically, like through this whole past year, there's been a big like people stayed true, people didn't stay true. Should the people that went to the tour be allowed to play in the PGA Tour again? All of this, and then they just merged recently. So basically, the PGA just decided we're going to take all of the money that the Saudi Arabians are putting behind the backing that tour. So they merged. So yeah, to Andrew's point, like the people that stayed true, like what does that mean to them? Like they just helped you kind of create and maintain your integrity of your brand. And then you just went behind their backs. They didn't communicate with the players and signed with that tour to merge.
Wow.
So they got all their money too and everything. And yeah, so like I think their counter to that was they were giving the players that stayed equity in the new league, so you can make money off of the brand, all of that stuff. But At the end of the day, like we're talking hundreds of millions of dollars that these players were signing contracts for to go play in the Live Tour.
So Saudi Arabia has taken over the sports world. Like they started a soccer league and they tried to get Messi. They offered him 2
right.
years for $1 billion. He turned it down.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Nuts.
and he came to Miami, and it's crazy like how much Messi helped that league. Like they went from 1 million followers to like 8 million, and then I don't know if you looked into it, like his contract is kind of crazy too. But I mean, he turned down $1 billion, which is nuts.
Wow.
But his contract's like he gets like 5% of Apple TV and
So he gets a lot of incentives
ownership
through
of
it. Yeah,
the
that makes sense.
team and a bunch of stuff like that. But
This is the MLS, correct?
Yeah,
He went
yeah.
into the MLS. So, I mean, that's big for the MLS.
my buddy, what's I don't know the name of the NYC one that plays in Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, I think it's really. I think it's
don't
in the
know.
New York Football
I just know
Club.
the Red Bulls, but he owns season tickets to that.
Oh yeah.
And the Messi, so the ticket's $28 a ticket, and the Messi game that he's supposed to play in, $3,000 a ticket.
What?
He can sell it for, and he has 4 tickets. So he's like, I might sell 2 of them.
Oh,
I was
my
like,
gosh,
do it, man.
do
Get-
it.
Get your bag.
Wow. That's crazy. I mean, that's a huge get because Messi, I still felt like it's not like he's declining, right? Like he's
Ronaldo
still-
took the money. Ronaldo
he went over to the
went
league,
to Saudi.
Saudi Arabia league. Yeah, it's really interesting. The whole golf thing is very interesting to me. I was a fan of what the tour was doing, at least from the player standpoint, because I felt like it was cool that they were standing up against it in a way and like being true and like trying to kind of build something more based on like tradition and values. But they went and took the money. Like that's just nuts. So.
Yeah, I think money kind of runs the world.
Oh my goodness. It no doubt. I mean, they offered Tiger Woods $800 million to go play for them.
Gosh.
And that's just a contract, right? That doesn't
ridiculous.
include if you win on the tour and all
Yeah,
that
yeah.
stuff. That's just here's your money to come play for us. Which doesn't make sense to me. Like, how do you have that much money? Like, what are you throwing at
They
these
have
guys?
oil money.
And that's it. And they're just throwing it.
They
at
throw
the-
it at WWE too. Like they get paid like $50 million to put on a show. It's like wow.
Wow. Yeah, it's nuts. Money does rule everything. But that's why I thought it was cool for the guys that stayed true. Obviously, decided not to take the bag.
Oh, and here's another crazy thing that I saw this morning. Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg are gonna fight in the UFC.
No.
Yeah,
Really?
Dana White went on TMZ. I was crazy. Like at first, read an article. I was like, okay, I skipped over it. Then all of a sudden, I see like breaking news about Dana White went on TMZ to like announce it, like it's in the works, and they both agreed to it. I was like, why are they gonna fight? What is wrong with billionaires these days?
These are like straight out of like movies or like
It's like, why
TV
is
shows that you're watching.
so
You know what I mean? Like this
Zuck-
doesn't happen.
There's a
Zuckerberg-
robot and like an alien from the future.
I just picture like,
Well, I would put my money on Elon Musk.
no, Zuckerberg's a black belt in jiu-jitsu.
Isn't he a smaller dude though? I thought Elon Musk had
He
some
looks like a
build to
robot.
him.
Yeah, Elon. Apparently he's been training for this. It's been in the works for a while. I'm so confused.
Wow.
Let's throw him Bezos to whatever his name
Yeah,
is.
Bezos in there.
Bezos,
Jeff Bezos.
Well, he get crushed.
Yeah,
But
you
he's
have no
jacked
chance.
too.
I don't know. He's pretty small.
That's crazy. This is the
They're
first
gonna make
I'm hearing
so
of this.
much money if they do this.
Well, that's
and
why
it's
they're
gonna be
doing
on
it.
Oh, of course.
pay-per-view, and they're gonna make so much
Well,
money.
it's like the whole celebrity UFC thing, like with the Pauls and
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
like they just made so much money that like now everyone's kind of jumping into the game like that and kind of ruining the fight, like the fighting stuff.
Yeah, man. Wow.
It's like that show back in the day, Celebrity Deathmatch. That's what I feel like we're getting here. That clay animation. thing. Yeah.
wow.
Crazy world.
Crazy world is right. But I've been
Crazy
listening to
world.
Abide in Me all week. It's been
Oh, yeah?
carrying me through my week. Yeah, I listened to it a bunch. I kept putting it on.
Yeah, it's
a
on
good
my
song.
my jams playlist. I've been listening to it.
Yeah.
Like I have like a whole playlist that I kind of like change up and all the songs that I'm feeling, you know.
Yeah, I definitely am the type of person that when I have a song, it's like constantly on repeat. Yeah.
Jam.
And Numb Little Bug was mixed in there too. That's just a vibe.
Yeah,
of a
I
song.
found that song. It's not a religious song. It's just like a good. Yeah.
It's just a beat.
No, I was just saying.
It's just got a cool like beat to it.
Yeah,
you know?
I've listened to like a lot of lo-fi and stuff too recently.
Lo-fi is always cool.
Yeah, I love like really chill music when I'm working. So I'll put on like really chill, just like kind of cool beats and stuff. And
Do they have an aux
delivering them.
cord in the mail truck?
No, so I have to bring like a Bluetooth speaker.
Oh, you do? You have to bring a speaker. Do they have a radio? Nothing, right? Wow.
There's nothing, yeah.
Wow.
It like no AC. Like it has heat, but I don't care about that right now.
Wait, there's no AC?
There's no AC. Yeah.
It's
Wow.
just, if you think about it, it's like an open box, kind of, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's from the 80s. You know, they don't think they have.
They haven't upgraded
Wasn't
the
as
truck.
common in those days. Yeah.
Wow. So we're getting into the heat of the summer here.
It's been hot. Yeah. Well,
You can wear shorts,
last
right?
week, yeah, last week or 2 weeks ago, it was like awful. The one hot day was it got in the 80s, like the late 80s. I was dying. I thought for sure I was gonna pass out. Like,
Oh my God.
I can't even imagine if it's 100. Like I'm gonna just, I'm gonna have to bring like ice in a cooler or something.
Oh, definitely.
'Cause it gets so hot because it's just an aluminum box, you know. Like,
Yeah.
it's just an aluminum chassis, and it's just gets so hot in there.
Oof. And then what about when you're walking, right? Like, well, you bring the car with you to a point and then you walk?
and then
Okay.
you tend to walk. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's still. Luckily, I haven't been doing a lot of walking, so I just hope that I don't have to walk.
Oh
on
my
a
gosh,
100-degree weather day.
You're gonna have to drive really fast through your route.
Just to get a little breeze through the because it's not like you go to one mailbox and then the next.
Yeah, you're not in the breeze. Yeah,
My mailman drives 50 miles per hour between boxes.
Yeah, just to get a quick breeze. Just like vroom. Has to stop for gas every. And then he gets out of the car and he sprints to my front door. What's wrong with that guy?
in a hurry.
Or just to get air, he does one box and then speeds around the block, does the next box.
Yeah, just keeps running in circles.
He's doing loops. Yeah.
Oh man,
We need air.
that's so good.
I did that today. I was in East Hampton today, and I ran up to the house, and there's this dog, and I freaked the crap out of the dog. Like I wasn't expecting someone, and it like literally startled the dog. He was just like, and I started freaking out, barking and stuff. Like, I'm sorry.
Well, now automatically your dogs do not like you. So
Now we know why dogs don't like
yeah, I
that.
was out with Josh the other week, and dogs just kept barking at him. He's in street clothes.
It's like, I smell a mailman.
It's on you now.
I know. Yeah, I used to like dogs, and now it's getting a bad taste in my mouth.
Well, you get so many, right? So you're gonna
it's literally
find
almost
a,
every house has
Yeah.
a dog, you know. So it's tough. Lots of barking, and luckily I haven't had any like horrible experiences yet. But
you
I've
get
gotten
chased
bit
by
or
a
anything.
dog, or
Yeah, not yet.
are there any horror
Close.
stories within the?
Oh yeah,
Really?
people getting bit and all kinds of stuff.
It's not just the movies.
Oh yeah,
It's real life,
It's a
man.
real deal. Well, I pulled into one. It was like a long driveway in this kind of back area, and there was literally 5 dogs that were just like running around outside, just in this guy's backyard in the driveway. And I had a lot of packages to deliver, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna just go slow and try not to whatever. And there's one that comes up to me and he starts barking, but he wasn't like rearing up. His hair, his fur wasn't getting all matted and stuff. It's like, okay, maybe we're okay. He was wagging his tail, so I went up to him, and then he like rolled over and like all that stuff, and it was being all cute. And I was like, okay, so we're good here. And then all the other dogs came over, and they all wanted to play. And I was like, oh, okay, this is nice.
No.
All right. This is a nice change of pace. Like,
Spend the whole route with them.
yeah, so it was fun. It was fun.
You
That
should
was
bring-
a good moment.
You
Yeah.
should have dog treats in your car. just in
Yeah, so I was always told not to in the academy, the carrier academy, because what happens is when I come in to help people's routes, if they're feeding the dogs are going to come up to you. And then when they realize, oh, you're not the regular, they, get a little agitated and
Sure.
get aggressive. But I did actually buy some, and so I do give them treats just
Breaking
because
the
they
rules.
expect it, and then they go away. Like you give them a treat and they go back. Like
Yeah.
as opposed to sitting there waiting for you to give them one, and then
You just wind up and throw it into the backyard. Like,
just chug it. And then it's fetch, and they come back. And,
yeah.
but, no, it's good.
Nice.
We got a little Bible verse, then we'll discuss it. Josh, if you could read that little
Sure.
that line.
Wait, you know what would be really cool? Maybe one day we can incorporate this.
Yeah.
Remember in VeggieTales when they'd go and they'd play the song? You know the song? I can't think of it right now, but I can think of the beat. It's like dun, 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 dun,
Oh,
dun,
like
dun, dun, dun,
when we're about to do a
dun,
verse?
dun. Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
I'll find it. Well, I'll throw
They
it
go
in
to
there.
QWERTY, the keyboard.
Josh, you can record something with your new.
That's right.
Your saxophone.
Saxophone.
Sax.
Yeah.
We got a Duke Silver in the house.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, we play a little tune every time before we read the verse.
Sure thing. It'll go right here.
If you gave me like the first couple words, I would know it, but I can't think of how it starts.
Yeah, I know. I remember it too. But
You're
I
doing the
can't remember.
melody. Yeah.
God word is for everyone. Now that our song is done, let's take a
Yeah.
look. Something like
Yeah,
that.
something like that. Yeah.
QWERTY. All right, hit it.
All right, this is Psalm 34, verse 7. The angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear him, and he delivers them. The angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear him, and he delivers them.
So to paint an image for you guys, what I'm picturing here is, we're fathers, so we like to fall back on that. Your children don't have a care in the world when they're at the park, but you are constantly scanning the park, making sure things are okay, making sure they're okay, watching them. And that's what God does for us constantly. He's constantly scanning our lives, protecting us. And that's what I got out of that.
That's a cool image.
Yeah.
We have a protector in heaven for sure, and it's always readily available. All right, and like if we turn to him and seek him out and want to go find him.
Yeah, he's always there.
Yeah. And I think that line about around those who fear him, I think oftentimes in scripture it mentions like fear of the Lord. And I know for us as Catholics, oftentimes that is reflected in like reverence and respect. So like if you have a reverence for the Lord, if you respect him, if you recognize who he is, as opposed to like I'm cowering in fear. Like sure, if we were before God, we would be cowering in fear. But like I know our lived experience, like oftentimes like the fear isn't necessarily what we experience. Like it's more of like a understanding who he is.
I instantly thought of Exodus when I heard that, thinking of like the camp and just here is the people of Israel, moving through the wilderness, and at that point, right, God was physically in their midst, right, as the cloud of smoke or the fire that was leading the way, and like the camp itself, like he surrounded the camp, and
Yeah.
I mean that was a perfect example of like fear of the Lord, and then allowing him to deliver them, through that. So I feel like there are so many, like that's why I enjoy Exodus, because there can be so many parallels to like our life and how we can allow God to like surround our camp, and let him guide us in our ways.
Yeah.
I feel like in life too, though, there's so many situations like us as fathers of like how we treat our children, and that's how like we need to look at how God is, like how we got to look at him and how he treats us, and just like I don't know, just it's deep, man. It makes you really just sit there and just think about how lucky we are.
I agree with that. When I had like having Elliot had,
It opens you more as a person.
for sure, because it gives you that understanding of one, what you can think of immediately, like your father to you. But then I do love that image that you're describing, Andrew. Like that's helped me in my faith in so many ways.
Same.
It's like, okay, the way that I feel and love Elliot is that times a million is how God feels about each and every one of us, right? So that can be so powerful in the way we live and the way we fear him or revere him too.
Good word.
It's really cool.
I like that.
No, definitely, 100%. And it's so true. I mean, just thinking about like how you are with your kids not there, and how you live your life and exist, and then you put the kids in front of you and with you in public, and everything changes. You know, you're scanning around, you're making sure they're safe, like you're taking care of this, you're doing that, like you're attentive to every little thing. And so it's crazy that like that's the love, and that's our instinctual, you know, masculine fatherly response to how we're supposed to protect and take care of these ones that we've been given. And yeah, I mean that's 100% our God is times a million, like you said. And I love that looking back at the camp in Exodus, because yeah, like he was the fire and he was the smoke, and these things were fearful. Like he could have just destroyed all of them at any time, you know. And the Israelites knew that because they saw it. You know, they could see the lightning from the smoke, and they could see the fire all around them. And but he didn't. You know, he showed his power and glory and majesty, and then the Israelites were just like, okay, he's on our side. You know, he's helping us through this. Like, he's with us. And so that's important for us as well as fathers to be that way for our kids. Like, to let them know that like we're powerful and we're strong, and we can handle things, and we can protect them, but we're on their side, and we're doing this for them, not for them to be afraid, but for them to be comforted by it.
And once you become a father, I feel like we all get that. There's like certain gifts that we get, and one of them is like that instinct. Like I don't know if you ever had this moment. I've had it a couple times where it's like you're not really paying attention, but they're about to fall and you catch them.
Yeah.
Like it's just like comes natural. Like I caught Logan today. He was falling off my bed, and I like caught him while I have Elijah in this arm, and it's just like you do that Spider-Man thing. You're like, wait a minute, am I Spider-Man?
What?
Wait, what?
It's so true, because you realize how much you know them and their every sort of move, and you can just kind of foresee it happening, right? Like,
Oh my gosh.
you're just watching them do things, and you're like, oh, hold on, like I gotta go, right? And that's exactly. I mean, geez, God knows our every move.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
I mean, that's
I like what you said too. It's like how much we know them. Like something happened. I forget what it was, but just like, oh, the gum. She bought vitamin gummies, and I was like, Logan's not gonna eat those, and she's like, no, he's getting older. He definitely will. And she tried to do it. It was a whole thing because we want to get him on like a vitamin, and we can't get him to eat it. And I was like, yeah, you were right. I was like, yeah, I know him.
Told you.
he is a piece of me.
That's what Jess
My
said. She
blood.
goes, Logan is me, like has my temperament and like craziness, like will act like me a little bit. I think he's a lot more than me, but he's he's like me. And then Elijah, she says Elijah's like her, very chill and mellow.
It is funny to see similarities. Yeah. I love to think about that sometimes. Like I watch Elliot and I think like I could see bits of me, but then I see bits of Ronnie and how it just all plays out. Yeah, it's really neat. But it is it's a rewarding feeling, and it's a feeling that can really be like parallels to raising a family. I mean, we have talked about this before with the idea of like family and marriage, right, is a great example of God's love and how it exists here on earth. And I think about so many times I try to think about Joseph and kind of how he had to live and raising the son of God, right, in his life. And I try to allow that to be like a reminder to me of like how I should try and live to be a father to our sons, right, to our children, and how Joseph can be such a great kind of person to lean to and a saint to pray to, and someone who can kind of give you a strength in a way. Because sometimes I feel like there's power in going to someone like a Joseph or a saint who was a very regular person that was given a great task, and he said yes and embraced it. So that's a perfect example of each and every one of us can do that too. You know, it's just a matter of saying yes. So
Definitely, and then that kind of humility that Joseph can offer is really important, right? Because I think pride oftentimes really distorts our actions and our desires, and especially when it comes to protection, because then it becomes about us. Like, I'm doing this to make myself look better. I'm doing this to make myself like God, as opposed to, no, I'm laying down for my family, in service to them.
In the Quran, it says Jesus as a baby, after they had Jesus, it says that he told Mary not to fast from speaking. It's because everyone was like yelling at her, questioning her because she had a baby before, like in the time of marriage and blah blah blah. So it says that Jesus, when they were yelling at her, saying like, "How could you do this to your husband?" Jesus spoke and was like, "Yo, chill."
As a baby, he spoke up.
Don't quote me. He didn't say "Yo, chill," but whatever they said in the Quran. But I mean, it's a little crazy.
Very interesting. Wow.
Yeah, the Quran's a little.
But if any baby would speak, it would be Jesus. What is that in Talladega Nights? I love that. He like prays to
sweet baby Jesus.
Sweet baby Jesus. I like him as baby Jesus. That's who I'm praying to.
What are they eating? They're eating something fast food.
Every fast food known to man was on the table. Taco Bell, KFC.
There we go. Oh, that's good. I love that we can create parallels to fatherhood through a lot of these things.
Yeah.
That we read and all of that.
I mean, it's who he is. It's the very nature of God, God the Father, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's tons of that.
And speaking of music, right? I mean, Good Father, right?
Yeah.
That's the name of the song, right?
Yeah.
Good Father. Yeah. Just a great, like the power of music, how that can really be a way of prayer, and then just a way of reminder of God's love for us. Yeah. I mean, that's a beautiful song to go listen to help kind of guide your week too.
Yeah, and to kind of reflect on that as him as a father. Because I think oftentimes, it is hard for us to kind of connect to the reality that God is a father to us. Because, obviously we have our own dads here on earth, but like it's hard to like how does he father me? And to see that, especially as us as grown men. Like it's hard for us to recognize the need for a father when we are fathers, like we are. So it's important for us to have that reflection and be
I
reminded.
need a new car. I'm gonna ask him for some money.
Hey, Dad.
I know Claire and I is shopping for minivans.
Ask our dad.
It's been awful. Because like we find some and like it's immediately gone. Like if it's a used one or whatever. But it's all right.
The car market's nuts.
I know.
I'm afraid we're right behind
insane.
you guys.
Yeah, I'm like nervous that we have to buy a new one, and I don't want to buy a new one because they're so overly priced right now.
Crazy.
They're like above MSRP values, and it's
Nuts.
like I don't want to pay this much
Because the supply is so low.
Yeah,
There was a comedian.
which I think is manufactured, but
There's this comedian who
Probably is.
made this joke about inflation, and he says that you want to know how I know inflation's bad and real. He goes, a homeless man asked me for $5. They used to ask me for $1. Inflation hit the homeless. I was like, he's right.
I mean, well, think about that. What can $1 get you?
Yeah, nothing.
Like
Arizona
nothing.
iced tea.
Yeah,
That's the only thing.
No free ads. I'll shout them out.
It says
I'm gonna
that it's
bleep it
$1.
out. It'll be a censor sound.
It says they're $1.25, but then like Walmart's selling them for like 80 cents.
They are $1.25 actually in some
I guess
places.
at Walmart you can find things for $1.
There you go.
I'm sorry, but everything I've ever everything I've ever bought from Walmart immediately broke when I got it to the parking lot.
Yeah, I mean,
Did I just say that? Hot take. I don't like Walmart.
no free ads. Yeah, that's good. So to bring us back to
Jesus.
the verse here, because I did find another piece too to touch on. I just think that last line is Pete.
Pete is out of control.
He's always
Pete
falling
is just
down.
falling. He's
That big hit of his.
falling apart in the season, falling apart in the set.
Pete. What's the last line? It says, and delivers them, right? The angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear him and delivers them. The trust that he will deliver, right? The trust that he will provide. Like God delivers us. And it can look so many different shapes and forms and all of that good stuff. But I think that's a piece of kind of allowing our faith to really sit and allowing him to deliver you. Just the trust that he will. I'm currently going through the Sacred Heart Novena right now, and that a part of that too is, Jesus, I trust in you, and that's can be such a powerful thing. So to have kind of that fear of the Lord, like to revere him and to know that he is all powerful and all knowing and a good father, the good father will deliver you and they'll lead you to where you need to be. So I think that's a great reminder as well. So I really like this verse, Andrew. It's great.
Yeah. One of my Bible flips.
Yes, sir. You know what we should read too, because Josh brought us up to I've never heard of that before until last week when we were hanging out after we recorded your birthday verse.
Oh yeah.
So that's a cool thing. If people at home are listening, check out your birthday verse.
Yeah,
You should
so
describe it.
you take your month and your day, and then you separate them. And the first is your, the month is the chapter, and the day is a verse. So you go through the Bible. I would recommend going through the New Testament, just flipping through some books, or just doing a Google search and putting the numbers in and finding what it is. And so this is something that my mom showed me years ago. I think when I was a kid. And she was like, yeah, like the Lord gave you a specific verse and you just use it on your birthday. It's your birthday verse. And mine is it's the full armor of God, Ephesians 6:11. It's like put on the full armor of God to thwart the tactics of the devil or something like that. And it's like really great. And I was talking to the guys about it last week and we were looking them up.
Yeah, pretty cool. I like that. I never heard of that, and I'm glad you told me, because then, like, Jess was looking up hers. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it spreads too.
You got to search. You got to look.
Yeah, you definitely got to do a little.
And then you got to find the
searching.
one that's for you.
Yeah, I don't recommend like looking in like Habakkuk or something like one of those books, but
Yeah, and also too, depending on your month, there
Yeah.
might not be a chapter in certain areas, but
yeah.
really cool because it can be inspiring. I liked mine. So mine, I think with Matthew 7:21. Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven, but only the one who does the will of my Father in heaven. It's like, man, all right.
That's such a good
Just follow
verse.
the will of the Lord.
That's great.
Yours was really cool too, Andrew. That I liked a lot.
What was mine?
Was it Psalm?
I think it was Psalm.
Yeah,
Psalm 7.
7:2.
7:2. Yep.
Yeah, yours was really powerful.
Psalm 7:2.
No, was it Psalm?
I thought it was. Was it the Psalm?
Or was it
It was something along those lines. Let me see, because I texted you when we were talking about it.
While they look that up, I want to bring up, there's this really good Christian cartoon called The Garden that's actually created by the creators of The Fairly Odd Parents. And I didn't realize like how like Catholic they are and like how they try to like.
Is that Phil Hartman or what's
Yeah,
his name?
yeah. And I didn't realize, like, I watched an interview with them and I didn't realize like how like he's like, obviously Nickelodeon wouldn't let me put anything into The Fairly Odd Parents, but he tried to show like a family that was together and just like tried to like install some values in the show. And then he has a new show called The Garden, which is like a lion and stuff, and it's got its funny thing, but it like does like Bible verses for kids so they can like take it in, and it's like it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Doesn't he? What's it on?
You can find it on YouTube.
YouTube?
I think mainly they're going to YouTube. Yeah.
Was it I wonder if it was Matthew 7:2. Was it?
I thought it was
Is it about like judging others? Is that the one?
No, it was just something that was like really cool and
I should have
powerful.
wrote it down.
I thought it was a psalm.
I thought it was a psalm too, but I just looked up Psalm 7:2 and it says, "Or like a lion, they will tear me apart; they will drag me away with no one to rescue." And that was not it. We can't have you getting torn apart like a lion by a lion.
By Aslan.
We'll find it.
Find it.
Maybe
We'll
it
let
can
you
be
know.
our conversation
Next week.
next week.
There you go.
As we lead
Because
into
it's
your
actually
birthday.
right to my birthday. Yeah.
There you go.
That's right.
My birthday. We appreciate you guys. Please like, comment, subscribe. Please subscribe, share it. Keep it flowing.
Yeah, appreciate all the support.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Peace.
Peace out. Oh, stay rooted in Christ.